Cowboys winners and losers from week 2 of the NFL preseason against the Seattle Seahawks here on today's show. The Cowboys did lose the game, 14-22 against the Seattle Seahawks, but as we will always try to preach, it's not about the win-loss column. It's about the individual performances from this game, how various players played, and we'll break down some good, some bad, and some in between from this matchup. Based again, we're doing this at this point. It's super early Sunday morning. Still kind of based more on the live copy. But if you love the Cowboys, you stand by them no matter what. Hell, if you watched the game that did not end until damn near 2 a.m. On the East Coast, share the video for me right now. Our first winner, and I would say the most obvious, is Jalen Tolbert. After a disastrous first season, accusations of him being a bust already, Jalen Tolbert has very much settled down and settled nicely into the wide receiver role for the Dallas Cowboys. 6 targets, caught 4 of them. 1 maybe goes down as a drop, off his hands. I think those should always be caught, but wasn't the most perfect throw either. The second one was a catch. He cupped it. It didn't hit it hit, maybe touched the ground, but it didn't move. Should have been a catch. The refs were garbage. They overturned it. I was very impressed in this matchup by the play of Jalen Tolbert. I feel much more confident about where he currently sits in the pecking order for this Cowboys offensive line depth or receiver depth chart. Excuse me. He is your wide receiver 4. Frankly, I don't need to see him next week. So, are you sold on Jalen Tolbert? Y for yes, N for no. Go sound off for me in the comment section. Deuce Vaughn is next up here, as once again, our Small King had a very good showing. Only had a couple of touches. He had 1 catch on a screen for -5 yards. Didn't go that great. Had some more catches, or a couple carries as well. 14-yard touchdown run for Deuce Vaughn. Very impressive. And I'll also give some love to both Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis. Rico Dowdle, 8 carries, 38 yards. Malik Davis, 8 carries, 32 yards. Dowdle did miss a bad pass or bad special teams pickup, which was rough there. Had a touchdown catch. I think your order is Tony Pollard, RB1. The double Ds, Deuce and Dowdle, as RB2/3. And then I think Malik Davis is 4th in that pecking order. Hunch Lipke had 3 carries, 3 yards behind a bad offensive line late. I'm not sure he's going to make a big role for you. So pick your RB2, knowing a big amount of the votes are going to be in favor of Deuce Vaughn and I think then Rico Dowdle, but Deuce Vaughn leading the way. It is today's pinned comment, so if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Devin Harper is next up here. Now, there was some footage that came out of, and we'll get to DeMarvion Overshown later on, of him walking after the game ended. Didn't appear to be a brace on, which is a really good sign, but I do think Devin Harper played well based on the live copy. A TFL, a quarterback hit, 6 tackles total. He and Jabril Cox, if Overshown does miss time and or is out for the year, have a real chance to make a big impact, and they are needed as well. KaVontae Turpin, I did think was better in this game. A couple reasons why. Did not field a kicker punt. Called for a fair catch, no fumble this time. The longest return was 23 by Rico Dowdle. I don't think Vaughn, Davis, or Dowdle are viable, better options on returns than KaVontae Turpin. Jalen Cropper had 1 return for no yards there. Also caught 2 passes for 17 yards. He caught both the targets his way. 1 for 11 yards was used on offense. And your top 3 receivers were Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert, and KaVontae Turpin. Then it was Simi Fehoko. So Turpin, I do think, will end up making this team as your top return man and receiver 5-ish. Today's show is helped out by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code on screen right now. It's Cowboys125. The Seahawks covered. It's a 6.5-point spread. It was the safety The safety is what got the cover there. The under hit as well pretty easily there. Hopefully you guys made some money. If not, use the deposit. You got the deposit bonus. Plenty of leftover money as well. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125. Brandon Aubrey next up here. Hey, he had 2 kicks. He made them both. That's what you want, right? No problems on that side out of Brandon Aubrey. So checked off the box there despite sack took him out of field goal range, unfortunately. That's in the loser's side. Isaiah Land is next up here. He had a sack, a TFL, had a nice run stop as well. 3 tackles in total. He is especially if, unfortunately, if John Stephens misses time, he might be your, outside of Aubrey if he counts as a UDFA, which technically he does, as your top UDFA candidate to make the 53-man roster if he can push out, I doubt it's Dante Fowler, who I don't know if he played today. He did play. He did play at a tackle. Didn't see much splash there. No Dorrance Armstrong again either, which maybe means he's a roster lock and very safe there. Either way, Isaiah Land did show some flashes here. We will have a Cowboys live show again for you on Monday, and then practice resume on Tuesday. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV for more free Cowboys videos. Now, Sam Williams would have been an easy winner if not for a boneheaded mental mistake as he dives into the knees of Drew Lock, and it helped extend a drive with a bad roughing the passer penalty. Can't do it, Sam. Got to mature, be smarter there. But he had a quarterback hit, a sack, a TFL, was really good in his handful of snaps, minus the 1 mistake. Juanyeh Thomas, meanwhile, similar boat. I thought played well. TFL, another near INT, 9 tackles, lead the way. He did miss a couple. He also missed a bunch in week 1. But I've been mostly impressed by him. He had the taunting call. It was soft. I didn't like it. But you can't make that. You can't allow that to happen. That's just not. You can't be making those mistakes. So Sam Williams, Juanyeh Thomas, tighten it up. You'll be in better shape. Put Jake Ferguson on this list. You know why? Your offensive starters didn't play today. None of them, including Jake Ferguson. At least he didn't get a target, and I'm pretty sure it was Hendershot out there to begin the game. Jake Ferguson is clearly your tight end 1 and our last winner on the list. Who was your biggest winner for the Cowboys against the Seattle Seahawks then? Sound off for me in the comment section right now. Now, look, we are doing the winners-losers based off of the live copy. I'll eventually do the condensed version again, and then I'll get some all-22 as well. The backup offensive line sucks. None of your top 5 guys played. A potential top 9 lineman for you, Chuma Edoga, was hurt again. A potential likely top 8 lineman for you, and Matt Waletzko got hurt very early on, but he was bad. He was getting worked by Boye Mafe. But Brock Hoffman got beat a bunch. Matt Waletzko was bad. Matt Farniok didn't play well at center. I didn't think Ball or Bass were that impressive. I thought Austin Richards kind of held his own, but when the rest of the O-line's getting beat, is that just because you're good, or is just everyone else getting beat before you? Your third-string offensive line sucks. Call it what it is. Earl Bostic got beat for a sack. Will Grier, I will say, did not help the O-line. Although, when your last 8 carries go for 3 yards, that's a running back. That's a quarterback issue, too. Will Grier, call him Will the Thrill Grier, because he does some stupid stuff sometimes. He's running around back there. 13 of 18 for 136 doesn't look that bad. But when you have a horrible interception, when you get sacked 3 times, one of which was on 4th down, you got to throw it, Will. One of which you come outside of field goal range. You got to eat it, my guy. That's bad. So I was very disappointed by Will Grier. I'm not cutting him like some of you guys are, but maybe he's a practice squad QB3, not a real QB3. So be mean for us. Who was the biggest loser from the Cowboys-Seahawks game? Sound off for me in the comment section. Some more losers, unfortunately, are the injuries. DeMarvion Overshown, the fear pending MRI as for an ACL, but Overshown was out there walking with a pronounced limp, but no crutches, no brace, which I doubt the doctors would let him do if it was a torn ACL, but that was the fear. So we'll see about Overshown. Matt Waletzko had a basically it's a partial dislocation of his shoulder, a subluxation is what it's called. The same injury he had last year, which he tried to play through, made it worse. It hurt it again once he was healthy. Needed surgery. See about him. John Stephens Jones has a knee injury, and Chudik Redwine has a hamstring. It's a rough injury game in Seattle. I'm going to put Mazi Smith here again on the loser side. Not because he's like a terrible player or he's a bust, which I already saw in the comments. Guys, relax. It's been like 50 snaps or something. I just want to see some more splash plays. I thought overall Dallas did a decent job against the run outside of the one bounced run by Zach Charbonnet. And up the middle, they've done a pretty good job. But there have been no splash plays yet for Mazi. He's raw. Give him some time. It'll be okay. Finally, the third string corners. Yeah, they got Kelvin just, who I thought played well again, but your second round pick's playing into the fourth quarter. That's not good for his roster status. D'Angelo Mandel had one nice PBU, but I don't think the Mandel-Butler-Brooks combination is really that great. So I am a bit concerned. Look, these guys aren't going to make the roster. That's why I'm not upset. Like, the reason why you lost is your third string's not very good. Who cares? I'll mention them as losers, but I'm not panicked on that front about the Dallas Cowboys.